Hello and welcome back to Clash and Burn. I am Johnny Clash, and today on Clash's Corner we're going to be talking about the dead art of the midnight game release, plus the lengths we will go through just to play a pre-order, overrated Halloween candy, plus on what we are playing this week we head back to Fornite Chapter 1 and an honest review that'll make you sing. Let's go. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Clash and Burn. You know, the good thing about doing a solo show that's not on camera, I don't have to have my fancy lights on. I don't have to have any cool stuff in the background. I'm literally sitting here in my living room with my dog and my baby, and I'm recording. Everybody's doing good over here. So last week was the first episode. It got a great response, so thank you, everybody. If you could please keep reviewing the episodes. 5-star reviews go such a long way, especially on Apple and Spotify. And hey, let me know what you want to talk about on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, at jclash21. I've been putting up some Marvel Snap playthroughs and some Fortnite dubs, so we'll get into that a little later. But let's start with some Clash's Corner. So I want to talk about midnight releases. This is something that doesn't really happen anymore, but if you're young and listening to this, back in the day when a game released, there would be a midnight launch either at a game store or like a Best Buy or something. And one that really sticks out to me is Gears of War 2. Being a gamer back in like 06, 07 in college, I wasn't big into like competitive games and like first-person shooters or third-person shooters. I was more into like the sports games and the NHLs and the WWEs and the SmackDown vs. Raws. So when my friends finally got me into the Gears of War series, I fell in love with the first game completely. But then Gears of War 2 was coming out, and there was a midnight release at GameStop, and I had to go. So I remember taking off the next day from school, from work, whatever it was, college class, I don't know, so easy to skip those. That night, made my way to GameStop. We all waited outside. There was a tropical smoothie next to the GameStop, and I remember it was so cool. They were having a Gears of War 1 tournament in the tropical smoothie while everyone waited for Gears of War 2 at the GameStop. And I remember they were giving out prizes. I got like a Gears of War poster, a little mini red Gears of War controller keychain that I still have somewhere today. I think I used it on my keys for years, but I should find out. I would still use that. But it was just so cool because then you go home and you play the game and everyone's on. Everyone's playing, but that's all gone now because you don't pre-order a game like that anymore. Like Spider-Man 2, as of recording, is coming out this weekend, but you're just waiting for it to download on your console, most likely. So the art of like going to the store, grabbing those Doritos and the Mountain Dew Code Reds and waiting all night to play it, taking the day off work, which you could still do, that's all gone. Majority of it's now just waiting for it to download. And if it's a Call of Duty game, well, first of all, why are you still playing those? Second of all, it's like an 80 gig file, so once it drops, you're not even playing it for like an hour or two, which is ridiculous. But that's like a little bit of a, I guess, a rant for another day. But I just miss it. I think after that, I waited for a few other games. Maybe Modern Warfare 2? I could be wrong. It was a Call of Duty, but I wasn't a big Call of Duty player until World at War. I know. You can let me hear it in the comments or on Twitter, whatever. Probably one of the worst Call of Duties ever. But now I think looking back, people look on it a little more fondly than they used to. But yeah, I really miss the midnight release. I miss the hype around games. But now, speaking of pre-orders, this story is a little nuts. Hurricane Sandy happened in 2012. Devastating for a lot of people. I was one of the lucky ones that still had power, still had electricity and water and all that. There was a lot of people that lost. Coworkers were showering in the boss's office at work. My house kind of became the hub where people charged their phones and took showers and all that. But at the same time, this is when WWE 13, I believe. Yeah, if it was 12, then WWE 13. Yeah, the one with CM Punk on the cover was coming out. So I pre-ordered at the local GameStop, and I never did like a big pre-order. I always gave like $5, $10, something crazy. You know, $50, $60 game that they were okay taking like $5. So the hurricane hits, power's out everywhere. My job We worked like half days. We ran off a generator and like one lamp and 2 computers. I don't even know why I was there, but they brought me in anyway. But we left early that day, and I remember saying, you know what? I still have power. I'm probably not working tomorrow. Tonight, I don't know what I'm going to do. I might as well go check GameStop to see if they have my game. Now, leaving the office, it was probably a good like 15, 20-minute drive on a normal day to the GameStop that I pre-ordered at. On this day, it maybe took 40 minutes to get there because the traffic, the street lights, everything being out. I'm like, this is crazy. Do I just turn around and go home? There was still like high winds, but the worst of it was over. Like, you know what? Let's just do it. I finally get to the GameStop. It had no roof. Everything was boarded up. The whole strip, which was actually the same GameStop I just mentioned I ordered Gears of War at. So the tropical smoothie, all of that, everything boarded up, the roof gone, caution tape everywhere. And I'm like, well, shit. I look across the street, there's a Best Buy. I said, you know what? I might as well just eat the $5 that I put towards this game and go buy it at Best Buy. Crazy. I walk into Best Buy, which is only down the parking lot. I think I even waited in line to get in, which is also nuts. And mind you, I'm 20 at the time. I don't really know what I'm doing. And I get in there. Half the lights are out. They have generators stacked up high. People coming in for the generators, coming in for standalone freezers and all that so they could save their food on the generators. I finally get up to the counter. The guy, I remember looking just so disheveled and tired, and I go, you guys got WWE 13? And it was like, what? Are you serious? WWE 13? I'm like, yeah, do you have it? I paid for it, whatever, $60. Came home, and I played it all night. Was that a terrible move? Maybe. But you know what? Who did it hurt? I didn't take a generator away from anyone. I just was able to play the game, so I went and got it. Of course, I was just a dumb kid also, and now if that was the case, I would probably just go home and not worry about that. But back then, little Johnny Clash needed his WWE 13. This video is sponsored by Dubby, complete jitterless energy to help you be better and catch that dub. Head on over to dubby.gg and get your 10% off by using code JohnnyClash at checkout. Complete jitterless energy. Dubby. Now, one of the other times I remember distinctly video games just coming together, healing the world, and I don't think the world has been this united since, was the release of Pokemon Go. My God, Pokemon Go had everyone locked in on their phones, out for walks. I remember walking to the local park with a friend. Every single person either leaving or coming into that park was playing Pokemon Go, which is absurd and crazy, and giving other people tips and pointers like, oh, I saw Nidoran over there. Oh, I saw whatever over there, and running to that location. Now, I feel like I was also lucky because my old place of employment, where my desk sat, I could reach a gym. I could reach whatever it was called, like one of those landmarks that you got free stuff from. At least 3 of those. I walked outside. I was hitting even more. It was like right in the middle of New York City. It was crazy. So I feel like I leveled up in that game before everyone because I just sat there with my screen open all day, like right in front of my computer screen, just catching stuff. And I don't even remember how the gyms worked. Do I go back to Pokemon Go? All right, so this one was inspired by my good friend Dylan Postel, aka WWE Hornswoggle, his show Going Postel, where he discussed his hot take on candy and Halloween candy and Halloween kind of in general. I know he doesn't really like it. He thinks it's overrated. It's not for adults, it's for kids. He also hates holiday cards. So I took it upon myself to send him a happy Halloween card. And as much as he pretends to hate me, he loves me. He loves all this funny stuff. But Halloween candy is pretty polarizing, especially candy corn. It's kind of like a pineapple on pizza deal where it just starts arguments. But I'm going to say I like it. I like candy corn. And I am happy to admit I like candy corn. And everyone should like candy corn. But you know what? I hate candy corn after 5 pieces when your teeth start to hurt. Especially those little pumpkins. You could only do like 1 or 2. I love the candy corn with a little hint of chocolate, but only about 5 pieces. Nothing more than that. So do you like it? Do you love it? Who knows? You know what's great? You know what's a goated Halloween candy? Tootsie Pops. I just polished off an entire bag of those this week. Crazy. Really good for my health. Really good. Also, the shaped Reese's, like the Halloween pumpkins, the hearts, why are they so much better? Is it because there's more peanut butter and less chocolate than an actual peanut butter cup? Is it because they're seasonal? That maybe they're more fresh? You put them in the freezer? Oh my God, life-changing. Life-changing candy. Also, I think God tier Reese's candy, now hear me out, is not Halloween. It's Easter time when they make the egg-shaped Reese's Pieces. They're just giant Reese's Pieces. Who doesn't love that? So let me know your favorite Halloween candy or Halloween candy hot take. You know where to find me. JClash21. All right, what we are playing this week, we are going back to Chapter 1, allegedly, in Fortnite for an entire month. They're going to do where it takes you through Chapter 1, and I cannot wait. That's where I started playing. That's what I loved. I know the map's not really built for, or I should say the playstyle's not really built for the map. It's built for building. Now there's zero build, so I might have to try to build a few more pyramids and walls and stuff and get back into actual Fortnite, not zero build, but we'll see what happens. I'm very excited. Hopefully my old squad can get back together, maybe merge them with the new squad, which is George and a bunch of others from the Game Marks podcast. We'll see what happens. I'm very excited for this. I just bought NHL 24. I haven't really dove in too much. I know they changed the controller scheme, which is a bit odd, but there are some ways that I saw some videos from Nasher, who is one of the top NHL players in the world, of just how to change the key bindings, and it'll make the game run smoother and a lot easier. And I think I'm going to try that before I really dive into some online play, get some verses going, and post some videos on my YouTube. But I'm always looking for suggestions of new games to play. I like playing Age of Empires 2, whether it's a quick little beat-em-up game where I know I'm going to win, or something challenging, put it on hard, put low resources, low population. I'm going to post some videos on that on YouTube as well, but I do like that. I'm trying to, I don't know, I'm watching some videos. Maybe Baldur's Gate might have some interest. I don't know. I'm not a big Dungeons & Dragons guy, but it does look kind of fun, so we'll see if that's something I get in the future. All right, it's honest review time, where I take a piece of media, whether it's TV, movie, music, and I give my honest review on it. I went through this phase a couple months ago where all I wanted to watch was like docu-pics on music. I was watching like Walk the Line for the first time, which was incredible. The Elvis movie, which I thought was great. I have no interest in Bohemian Rhapsody because I am not a Queen fan. Sorry, I know majority, 99% of the world is. But amongst all that, I started watching Daisy Jones and the Six. It's loosely based on Fleetwood Mac. I'm sure you've heard of it by now. I believe it was also a book first. The show starts off like a feel-good rock and roll story, but it takes such a turn. The ending is so like emotional. Like you feel what's going on the screen. It's pretty crazy. And then Stevie Nicks actually tweeted, she wrote, hang on, let me get it. Just finished watching Daisy Jones and the Six for the second time. In the beginning, it wasn't really my story, but Riley seamlessly soon became my story. It brought back memories that made me feel like a ghost watching my own story. It was very emotional for me. I just wish Christine could have seen it. She would have loved it. Hopefully it will continue. Christine being who Stevie Nicks was with, who this is based on. Okay. I did not know who Riley Kuko, whatever her name is, was while watching the show. But now I know that it's Elvis's granddaughter, Lisa Marie's daughter, which makes it even more nuts because I feel like she has everything, all the star power to be just a mega star right now, not only on her family name, but her performance in this show alone was like iconic. So good. What a great actor. What a great character she portrayed. And like I said, by the end of it, it sticks with you. The songs get stuck in your head, which is not always a good thing. I had to really like drown them out for 3 days to get them out. But the ending itself is worth it alone. All right, my Clash and Burners. Is that a thing? No, that's not going to be a thing. My book recommendation today is The Forgotten 500 by Gregory A. Freeman. The description says, an astonishing, never-before-told story of the Second World War based on newly declassified documents and exclusive interviews. In 1944, the OSS set out to recover more than 500 airmen trapped behind enemy lines in Yugoslavia, classified for over half a century for political reasons. The full account of this unforgettable story of loyalty, self-sacrifice, and bravery is now being told for the first time. If you're into like old war stories, World War II, this story just brings you onto the battlefield. It's crazy what these soldiers go through, what these people of Yugoslavia go through. You're going to love this story. Check it out. It's available on Audible as well, and I think it'll be worth it if you're into that sort of thing. All right, but next week, I'm going to have a friend on the show. His name is James Batchelder, known as the Elder Spork. He is a Super Mario speedrunner. He's been in competitive speedrunning for quite some time, and I want to know more about it. I want you guys to ask me questions to ask him. What goes into that? What goes into streaming? What goes into competing? And I think it's going to be a pretty fun interview, something a little different, and you're going to find out all we need to know about Super Mario speedrunners. But that's going to do it for this week's episode. Please leave a 5-star review wherever you can. I will greatly appreciate it. It'll help so much. Please check out my other show, The Game Marks Podcast, where we discuss a different wrestling game every week and offer up our rating. Subscribe to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/JohnnyClash, and I will see you next week on Clash and Burn.